Hello, my name is Miss Smith, and I have been an art teacher in public schools since 2011. And I'm going to share with you why and how I created a social story for my students in the public school setting. So, why create a social story? A social story is created when you have a unique situation and you're looking for resources for your child's situation and you can't find them. It could be moving to a new house, it could be a new sibling, it could be the loss of a pet, or any unique situation that you would like to acclimate your child to by reading them a story ahead of time in anticipation of a transition, a change of any sort in your child's life. That is what a social story is. It's something socially specific to your child or your students that you would like to help them acclimate to. And it could be reading the story daily or weekly, or just making the story available to them as a digital version or a printed version that you can bind with something as simple as yarn. So, in my situation since COVID, I used to teach 600 kids in 5 days. I had and this is why I needed to create my own social story, was because there was not a resource for the situation. So I had to create my own resource. And it's to help kids that are just struggle with change, that are nervous and like to know what's coming ahead of time, to kind of wrap their minds around with it and help with the anticipation. So Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday morning, I taught at one building. Wednesday afternoon, Thursday, and Friday, I taught my second building. But because of COVID, we wanted to reduce going in and out of buildings and multiple exposures with 600 kids. So I started teaching half the year in one building for the first 90 days of school, and the last 90 days of school teaching in my second building. And I wanted to help my students wrap their mind around that they one building has art first and one building has music first, and then we switch. And there's a lot of pros and cons to that, but I won't bring that up in this video setting. So I created two versions of the social story. One for the students that I was leaving and that music was coming into the building, and one for the students that had had music all year and then now they're transitioning to art. So that is the why, and I'm going to show you the how to create, or how I create it. It's not the only way, this is a way to create a social story. So I have a Gmail account and I have the Google Suite, and this is free if you have a Google account. So you can create your own Google email and then you can open up Google Slides. And we're just going to title this presentation, How and Why to Create a Social Story. But you can title it whatever your child's unique situation is to help them. So, what I'm going to do is title my social story after you have given it a title up there. So, I think I titled the story Art Class. Art class is ending for the year, and that will be your title page of your story. It does not need to be perfect. It just needs to be good enough for your student to understand. So perfection stops us from doing a lot of things. So this doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be good enough for students. And another thing that you can do before I go into the rest of it is under File Page Setup, and you can slow this down by pausing it to see what you need to see, is if you would like it to be printable, you can change the size here. And I was sending this out to classroom teachers to project onto their whiteboards. So this is if you want a vertical setup and you want to be able to print it and bind it with something as simple as yarn, or if you would like the landscape version, it's just reverse 11 by 8.5, and this way it's still printable. And I'm just gonna slide the title up. And then on my cell phone, I downloaded and created my own Bitmoji avatar. So, and then in my Chrome, I have Google Chrome on my computer. I added Bitmoji as an extension to the browser. So if you don't know how to do that, you can go into Google and search add Bitmoji extension to the browser. And then we have this little puzzle piece icon. This is all my extensions that I regularly use. And then I just click the blue push pin and that will, so it will unpin Bitmoji and then repin it. And you can see it appears here at the top for easy access. Then you're going to click the Bitmoji symbol, and then we're going to search for whatever you would like your Bitmoji to be doing. So creating the avatar, your little cartoon will look like you as whoever you are to that child. It could be you as the teacher, you as the caregiver, you as the parent, and then drag and drop the symbol. And then using the corner is the best way to keep it proportionate to itself. And then you have your title page to your social story. We're gonna go back over here and click the plus sign, or you can choose which kind of layout you would like it to have. Click the plus sign and you get a new page. And then you're gonna create the words to your story. For younger students that I work with pre-K to 5. I kept it 1 to 2 sentences per page. So I wrote something like, art class is almost over for the year, and soon we will have music class. And then I went to Bitmoji and I found an appropriate character that matched what I was saying in the sentence. And then I just keep creating pages, as many pages as you need to get all your thoughts out, and will answer things for your students or the child in your life, answering their questions. Like, it's okay to feel whatever you're feeling. You might be feeling happy that music class is coming. You might feel sad that Miss Smith is leaving to go to her second building for the year. You might be sad that we don't have music or art right now. So, and I did 2 versions of the story. So I had to create it 2 different ways. And then after you're done creating all the slides to your story, you can view your story and click through and just see how it looks. When you get it to the way that you like it, whoever you're going to share this with. So I also shared this to teachers to be able to share it with parents and families on apps like Class Dojo, for example. So when you're ready to do that, I went to File, Share, and you're going to publish it to the web as a link. And you click Publish, and that way you can add changes, but the link will stay the same. So when I realized I wanted a few more slides, the link stays exactly the same because it updates every 3 seconds. Or anytime I add to this link, it changes. And then I copied and pasted this link and I emailed it to teachers. I put it in the Class Dojo app or wherever you would like it to go. And then when it is viewed, no one can make edits to your social story. And this can also be printed for your students and bound very simply. So that is how I went about creating a social story and sort of the why I created my own social story. I had a parent reach out and ask me how I did it. So I wanted to make it as easy as possible. And I thought that other people might benefit from knowing how and why to create a social story when it's applicable to their child and how to make it easy. So I thought this was the easiest way. This is how I have been doing it for the past few years since COVID. So I hope this can help other people and other children with their unique situations. Thanks for listening. Bye.